just a couple bad weather fans representing New York, talking all things sports. Man, what could go wrong? We got Alex, who's a fan of the Knicks, and Mike of the Nets. The yin-yang of the tri-state, place your bets on the Yankees, Giants, Mets, or Jets. Yeah, you should listen if they're sparking your interest. If you made a vow to your team, don't break it. Bad weather fans is the relation.
That's right, it's Bad Weather Fans, episode number 185. Mike Biseglia, Alex Benesowitz, and of course, we are presented by DraftKings. We'll have fun on this episode connecting this little Jets-Giants rivalry that has started to bud in the last couple of weeks, I guess, and connect it back to the Nets and the Knicks. As the offseason's here, FIBA World Basketball Cup, if I'm even saying it right. Alex, I know you and I, and good morning. How are you? I feel like
good morning. I'm doing great. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get that out of the way. I feel like you and I have not been interested in this thing at all.
Not at all. Don't care. I think it's fun. It's fun to talk, like to see videos on social media and things like that. But like, I honestly don't care.
I heard Jalen Brunson's defense has been a problem. That's what I've heard.
I don't know. I heard Josh Hart's in the starting lineup all of a sudden. So yeah. So
yeah, it's funny because when I was a kid, I mean, I loved it. I mean, first of all, the 1992 team.
Right.
You know,
plus that was the Olympics. That was the Olympics.
Yeah, that was the Olympics. But I'm just thinking back to that team and how amazing that was. Obviously, they had guys that were some of the all-time greats, and for the Knicks fans that don't know the history of the league as much, like Jordan, Johnson, I mean, Bird, these guys are some of the best of all time.
Yes,
you know, I like Mikal Bridges, and you know, I'm sure you're a fan of Jalen Brunson, of course, but I think there's nothing like that team. So it's just, I don't know. For me, it's just difficult to get into it.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And plus, it's partly because it's not the Olympics, and partly because the team is so like not exciting. I mean, they have some great players on it, like Anthony Edwards and like Brunson.
He's been great.
And Jaren Jackson. Like they have some really good players, but like it's not like LeBron, Steph, you know. Like that
Anthony Edwards, man, future of the league.
Edwards, yeah. No, he is, and he's awesome. But you know, but Canada's got some good players too. They got RJ Barrett and SGA and Dylan Brooks.
Team Canada.
I'm
you like
Canadian,
Team Canada more because you're like RJ Barrett had 17 and 6, and he was an efficient 5 for 8 from the field. Told you guys, RJ Barrett's a star. Look at Team Canada.
Or the Knicks' second-round pick from a couple of years that hasn't reported, Rokas Jakabides, or however you pronounce his last name, and he's like crushing it. And for I don't even know what team, I forgot what country he's from. No disrespect, I just don't remember. But like everybody's like, look how good he is. Look how good he is. Like that's great. He hasn't played for the Knicks yet. Like it's a wasted pick from a couple of years ago. I know it's a second-round pick, but it's a high second, and he hasn't played. And you know, until he shows up and does this for the Knicks, it means nothing. It's like Arvydas Sabonis. You know, he was over. Seasons never reported to the Blazers until he was like 100 years old.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So like, what did that do for them? You know, they had some nice highlights, but so
yeah, it would have been cool to see him in his prime. That's definitely true. I do want to mention to the audience, of course, we are presented by DraftKings, and can you believe we've had 7 months without NFL games? Crazy. Well, good thing that is over because the NFL is here, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is giving you a can't-miss offer for Week 1. Yes, that's right. Week 1 is here. This week, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you just bet $5 on any NFL game. DraftKings is hooking everyone up with game day greatness. All customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every single game day in this September. You definitely want to check that out. Man, so many great games. It's like getting excited just reading this read. Check the app to see what you get. Download now and use code BWF to sign up. New customers can take home $200 in bonus bets instantly just for betting $5. That's code BWF. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. That's 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for a problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, KS 21 plus age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. See dkng.co/football for eligibility, terms, and responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Definitely excited for football. I think everybody is. Giant fan, Jet fan. The baseball season's been bad, so of course we're ready for football. I think any sports fan is pumped up, as the Jet fan should be. I know a lot of Jet fans are very excited about this season that's coming up. Loaded with talent on both sides of the roster. They've got a quarterback that's one of the all-time greats. How how can you not be as a Jets fan? And then for the Giants, right? Last season getting to the second round of the playoffs, they've added some components. And Darren Waller at tight end. They continue to grow internally, and you hope Daniel Jones has a breakout season. And for the Giants, they're in the NFC, which is a benefit. For the Jets, they're in the AFC, which is unbelievable amount of talent and good teams. And Alex, it feels like a little Jet Giant thing is brewing on the internet and in like talk radio spaces,
and with the players too, man,
and with the players, yes.
So just quick on DraftKings, the Super Bowl odds for the Jets to win the Super Bowl, which is never going to happen in my lifetime, I'm sure, is plus 1,600, and the Giants are way down at plus 6,500. So that's pretty big. And this, if you're wondering, you're watching on YouTube behind me, this is you can see the Jets over here. The players over here. This was my seats when I had season tickets at the Giant Stadium, and yes, it was Giant Stadium, and row 2, section 335. So this is the little spot where I grew up watching my entire life. Found an old picture, and so it's exciting. Jets and Giants. I mean, there was never a rivalry like our whole lives, but it started brewing from the Rex Ryan Victor Cruz game, and
yeah.
Back then, I was at MetLife Stadium after Giant Stadium, obviously, and literally my seats at that time were like in the corner of the end zone where Victor Cruz ran right to, and so I was like, we're on the 100 level, and we're kind of like 19 rows up, and it's just like it was kind of hard sometimes to see all the plays all the way to the left where he caught the ball, and so you have to like. All of a sudden, you see the throw over there, you see him catch it, and then it's kind of like a cloud of dust, and all of a sudden, Victor Cruz is just running right towards me, doing the sound. I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" So that was exciting. Let me tell you, I was really upset, and then I ended up going with friends to the next one 4 years later, where Brandon Marshall caught the touchdown pass, Bilal Powell had the touchdown, and the Giants missed the field goal, lost in overtime, and the Jets. Oh man, was I talking shit coming out of that game? And then, almost got in a couple fights. It was a lot of fun, but. It's been dead for a while because the Jets has sucked for so long,
and the Giants sucked.
The Giants suck too, and the Jets have won 2 in a row versus the Giants in that matchup. But now with this hard knock situation, and the Jets have been getting a lot of attention this offseason. Giants fans, not everybody, but a lot of Giants fans, including Sean Marash, have been really taking shots at the Jets a lot, and I think it's a lot of jealousy and a lot of not used to sharing the spotlight. It's been 10 years, 12 years since the Jets have really earned a spotlight, that has rivaled the Giants. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of been weird for them. And Ward on the Giants, takes a little shot at Rodgers, and he gets exposed on HBO and Hard Knocks, and Rodgers says, "Who the hell are you hitting?" Something like that. You show some respect. He's like, "I don't know who you are." And then Ward's like, "I don't even know who you are." And Rodgers like, "Okay, you don't know who Aaron Rodgers is." And everybody knows the story. Whatever. He throws a touchdown pass to Garrett Wilson, embarrasses him, and said, "Don't poke the bear," et cetera, et cetera. And Ward said it was because of the dirty hit on Randall Cobb. Had a block on some Giant that used to be a legal hit that's no longer legal, and Cobb had a brain fart and gave the guy a concussion. And it was very, that's not something to laugh about. But I don't think the Jets knew he had a concussion, and if Ward was really mad about that, he would have done something at that moment. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of it was weird. I felt like he was just making excuses for getting exposed on HBO. What do you think?
Well, I mean, if you're you have to take whose word are you gonna take? And I'm not in the mood, honestly, to debate
to go back and
like
forth
well, Rodgers said this because did he mean it, or did Ward say this because who are you going to take at face value on it? I don't know. I think the whole thing was so cheesy, to be honest. Like, and if honestly, if that didn't even, I don't know, I didn't even care, because I was like looking at Aaron Rodgers. I'm just like, I mean this with no, well, I guess I do mean it with disrespect if I'm going to say I don't mean it. The Jets don't bother me. I can't even. I get no like obviously if I'm watching like the Nick game and the Nick thing happens with the the fans, it bothers me. With the Jets and their
Right.
fans, I don't even care. I mean, it
Right.
really doesn't bother me. And I think for a couple of reasons, in a different division, they barely see each other. Now, this year's the culmination where it actually works out well with, I think it's great for the city that they're playing each other this year. It works out. If they weren't playing each
Right.
other, it would kind of just fizzle and everybody would go in their own way. But because they're going to see each other this season early enough where it's going to make for a very anticipated fun game. But yeah, I mean, like Aaron Rodgers, cocky bastard, right? And I don't know what it is, but for some reason, the Jets and their fans just don't bother me. It's because I'm a Met fan and I see them and I'm just like, I understand where they're coming from. And because I've seen 2 Super Bowls in my lifetime, and not just like, well, technically 3, but I was a baby, 3 years old, but if, or
Doesn't count.
whatever,
Doesn't count.
7 years old. But the point is, I've seen 2 Super Bowls that I remember vividly, and maybe the greatest Super Bowl win in the history of the sport with the win over the Patriots in one of the most
Jets fans cheered also. Jets fans won a Super Bowl that day too. Not a full Super Bowl, but it was kind of like a 10th of a Super Bowl for that one. All New York rooted for the Giants that Super Bowl, the 17-0.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the best sports moments of my life. Mm-hmm. That maybe as the Jets grow steam, and if they're 11-1, and their fans get really annoying, maybe it amps up. But at this point, there is nothing from them that has given me any type of like, oh yeah. Like I'm just like, okay, good luck, do your thing.
You know the difference though, it's because the Knicks are sort of the big brother and the Nets are the little brother, and in this situation, you're the Giant fan, which is the bigger brother, and the Jets are the little brother. So it's kind of like that's the difference. But obviously, there's more. This is not a shot at the Nets. There's more Jets fans than there are Nets fans. You know what I mean? So the Jets have a bigger, like what do you call it? A bigger slice of the pie in New York than the Nets will ever have. You know what I'm saying? Well, maybe not ever, but right now.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? And historically and everything.
Yeah, I mean, twofold. One, it's football. It's the Jets.
Right.
They've been around for a long ass time. I mean, there's more Jet fans than Knick fans. It's just football. I mean, there's just more of this people gravitate to the sport. Now, everybody always felt like, oh, and it's New York, we all come together to watch the Knicks. Now, maybe globally, there's more Knicks fans than Jet. There's probably no Jet fans outside of the area or from some weird connection to somebody had to Joe Namath when they were a kid. I don't know. So maybe I'm wrong on that. But it's football. Of course, it's like that. That's why I always laugh, and I've gotten amusement out of, you're being surprised to see what's happening with Giant fans. And I'm like, I've seen this with the Nets Knicks. It's the same exact play with nuances and differences, of course, but it's the same exact thing. Net fan feeling good about themselves. Net fans got the stars. Knick fan barks back. Don't come here. This is our town. This is our territory. I'm like, it's the same thing.
It's a little different because a lot of the stories when Durant and Kyrie signed with the Nets and DeAndre Jordan, don't remember him. Don't forget him either. When they signed those 3 guys, it was the bigger story was how the Knicks got screwed. The Knicks didn't get anybody, and not about how the Nets got them. It was a lot of shots. It was all over national TV. Nets fans were arrogant, patting themselves on the back. You had guys like Evan Roberts on the radio saying he pulled over to the side of the road just to scream and yell and be happy that Durant signed. And, they had guys on the Nets, getting T-shirts and posters of the tweet, and like, that's great. But it was also like, look how great the Nets did, and the Knicks got nobody. It was always part of the story. When the Jets got Aaron Rodgers, it was just like, holy shit, we got Aaron Rodgers. And when you start seeing him in minicamp, you start seeing him in training camp, he gives up the money, and we're all getting excited. And it's just like, you see the Hard Knocks. It was nothing about the Giants. Nobody, no Jets, maybe some trolls on Twitter, but it was never like a full on like, fuck the Giants. Look what we got. It was like, who cares? But we're not, Knicks and Nets are division rivals. It's a little different, so it all of a sudden the Giants just kind of inserted themselves into this conversation, kind of like how Sean Payton did with the Broncos. And it's just like all of a sudden the Jets had these 2 random rivalries with the Broncos and the Giants. It's just, that's what happens when you get the attention and you get the great players, and the Jets are loaded, man. Like it's exciting.
No, I agree. And that's why I said right before we started, I said, yes, it's there's nuance difference. It's not that's going to make it. But when you get to the ultimate end of it, when it's the little brother having way more of the spotlight all of a sudden in terms of expectations to win and title expectations, the Jet fan has gotten annoying in some spots. Not everybody, but just how you felt as a Knick fan that Net fans were annoying. The Giant fan feels the same way, and they're asserting their dominance. It's the same. It's the same freaking thing. It's so it's just so funny to me when I'm like, yes, this is what happens. It's annoying. I get it. I totally understand it.
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, Ward's a little bit of a hypocrite because last year his teammate, Thibodeau was not the Knicks coach, but the Giants defensive lineman.
Yeah,
he was. They're not related, by the way. It's Thibodeau with a little X at the end.
Doing fancy Thibodeau Angels.
It was doing the snow angels after a sack when Nick Foles is on the floor convulsing. I think it was Nick Foles on the Colts, and he was like hurt, and he's like doing a little dance, and over him like dying on the field. He's
terrible look,
but like Ward, saying like Cobb and Rodgers were cracking jokes after the concussion and the hit that used to be legal, and he just had a brain fart and got fined, and it's just very hypocritical. The whole thing is it's just stupid, and it's something that the media and the beat writers are playing up because they want the clicks, they want the stories, and then the guys like on the Fan, which is obvious, there's nothing to talk about. Baseball sucks in New York. They need something to talk about. So I get it, and you know what I mean, and it's fun. It's fun to go back and forth, and I love it. Good. I mean, so whatever. It is what it is. It's just the Jets just like better win Monday night, man. They better beat the Bills. Holy fuck. And like, it's one thing if they lose, and I don't want them to lose, and I really think they have to win, but if they go into the Monday night and they lose like 27-10 or something like that, like, holy fuck, it's gonna be a long week. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's gonna be tough.
Season's
not over, but it'll feel like it's over.
Yeah, let's break down those or talk about the teams as we enter into the week one of the season. But before that, Alex, just want to remind everybody of our amazing and sporting sponsor in DraftKings, and we'll talk a little Jets and Giants.
All right. Yes, and I'll get to some of the spreads from the first week once I finish this read here. So, can you believe we've had 7 months without an NFL game? Crazy, right? Well, good thing that's over. NFL is here, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is giving you a can't-miss offer for Week 1. This week, new customers can get $200,000 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5 on any NFL game. DraftKings is hooking everyone up with game day greatness. All customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every single game day this September. Check the app to see what you got. Download now and use Bad Weather BWF for bad weather fans to sign up. New customers can take home $200 in bonus bets instantly just for betting $5. That's code BWF for bad weather fans. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, KS, and 21 plus age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. See dkng.co/football for eligibility, terms, and responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. So thanks to our friends at DraftKings. So like speaking of DraftKings, on the DraftKings Sportsbook app for Week 1, you can bet on the games already. So we got the Jets and Bills on Monday night, 9-11, as we were saying. The Jets are getting 2.5 points and plus 120 on the money line. So the DraftKings is not really trusting the Jets yet. I mean, they gotta see it. I mean, the Jets had 2 or 3 drives with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, nobody really knows it, and that's the playoffs. That's the preseason.
Yeah, and they're also playing a team that
is awesome.
Since Josh Allen's really been there the last couple of years, has established itself as a team that's Super Bowl or bust vibes, and it's been bust for them as they've come up short the last couple of years and have just kind of gotten and they've had some really brutal losses too.
Right.
But I think for DraftKings, and people betting on this game, you look at it and you don't know what you have, or there's a lot of unknowns still with the Jets, and it's the first week. So I could see and understand why the Bills will get the slight edge from the betting side of things.
Yeah, I get it too. I mean, also the first week of the NFL season is, if for some betting advice, is the time that you can actually win, like some underdogs, really, because you don't know what the teams are yet. And people have this thing, they fall into the line. It happens in the NBA also, in every sport. You fall into line of what happened the year before, and you don't realize, like, some teams with young players have gotten better and they can take a step. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
so
yeah,
like Jalen Brunson with the Knicks, nobody saw him playing this great, like, so, and now going into this season, you assume he's going to do the same thing. So with the Jets, and the Bills, you assume the Bills are going to be great again. They might suck, like, you don't know,
I don't think they'll suck.
We'll
if you got the quarterback, you're probably not going to suck.
With the him and Diggs have gone at it. I mean, you know, Josh Allen and him have gone at it. You never know. I mean, I don't think they'll suck, but like, they might not be what the Bills have been.
Well, look, to your point, look at the Giants last year when they played Tennessee and they go on the road and get that win. And the Titans coming off being at that point a team people were like, oh, this is a team that could go to the Super Bowl, or maybe not that far, but a team that's a legit playoff team. Giants haven't won game, been awful the last couple of years. And then you have a new head coach, and they come into this game, and what were they down, like 10-0 or 14-0? And it was like, all right, here we go again. It's going to be 28-10 or 21-3, and it's call it a day. And then the Giants come storming back. The defense looks great. They go in, Saquon looks rejuvenated, and the Giants go into Tennessee, get a win. And as the chips fall later on in the season, Giants way better than Tennessee. But again, to your point, that first week, you have no idea, which makes for, just an amazing, which makes for that first week when everybody's just been waiting and anticipating. And then here
opening
we go.
Day. Yeah.
The best. And it's interesting too, because the Giants are playing on a Sunday night. So they've got the spotlight Sunday versus the Cowboys. And so, and then the Jets, the Monday night game, which is the perfect game, playing the Bills on Monday Night Football. I mean, you couldn't ask for, as a football fan, even take yourself away from just being a Jets fan. You couldn't ask for a Aaron Rodgers Bills Monday night stage. It's just perfect for them and the audience. And it's cool too, because now Giants standalone, Jets standalone. And then for the fans, you could just spend Sunday, watching all the other games and doing your thing. And then that you've got your two games isolated at night is awesome.
Yeah, and like the Giants Sunday night, they're getting 3 points and plus 140 on the money line.
Yeah.
So it's just it's sorry guys, it's like 6:30 in the morning we're recording this, but it's the Giants, like, that's a crazy, they're getting a lot. I mean, 3 points is a lot. I feel like I might have to take the Giants in that. It's just, they're not, so they're a playoff team and they're home on Sunday night, and it's nice to the Giants. I feel like they always open against the Cowboys, and it's nice for them to actually be home this time. It's always in Dallas. I don't understand that. So
I feel like I've seen so many Giant at Dallas losses at night in my life to start a season. I mean, I think
it's not right. I mean, it's messed up. I don't know why they always do that to them.
I remember doing, when I was doing morning radio, and I was like, Sunday Night Football, Giants Cowboys, and it was like 11:30, and I'm like, I got to get up in 4 hours. It was like, oh my fucking God, never again. Now I don't mind it now. Actually, I have that Monday off, so I'm going to enjoy my Sunday, enjoy that game, and not have to think about 3 a.m. wake up calls. So it'll just be like, okay, they lost 27-17, and I'm depressed, but it's a normal loss. Depressed, I'll take it.
Right. The Cowboys are, they're such a weird team every year. They have a lot of talent on defense. They have a lot of, good players on offense. And then they go and trade for Trey Lance and just piss Dak Prescott off.
Crazy.
And it's just like, you know what I mean? Trade. Like right before the season, like what's going on? I get it from a business standpoint, on a macro level. Like, you got this guy who was like the second or third pick in the draft, and he never really played. He's the Obi Toppin of the NFL, or, James Wiseman of the NFL, put it that way.
Yeah,
and it's like, and it's just, what do you just paid Dak and you got rid of Elliott. I know he stinks now, but it's just like, all right, like, we love you, but we're just getting somebody just in case. Like, it's just, it's crazy.
I mean, the Cowboys have been just one of the bigger disappointments sort of like the Bills, but not even as good, where they just have these really good regular seasons. They're always there, and then they just fall short every single season.
Well,
and
Aaron
then
Rodgers fucked them one year with that amazing play in the playoffs in Dallas. Remember that one play that was like the pass to the sideline? It was like an incredible play, So that guy's on my team now, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Get excited. So there's Jet fans really starting to annoy me. There has been just so many disappointing losses for Dallas. And now, with the Giants better, the Eagles clearly the best team in the NFC.
Yeah.
This would probably be the year that Dallas would get through when there's no expectations at all. But yeah, I mean 2 points, what you said, was it 3 points? That's basically saying, so that's basically, if it's Giants at home, that's saying they like the Cowboys. That's, you add 3. It's like they think they're 6 points better or whatever.
Right.
And I think there's been a lot of disrespect for the Giants. Daniel Jones too. Like if you have this up, Alex, take a second if you could find it. The Daniel Jones, let's say MVP odds. Like if you look at what his MVP odds are, and I'm not saying that go ahead and think Daniel Jones is your MVP of the league, but if you look at some of the quarterbacks that are ahead of him, then that's the point I want to make. The amount of disrespect for DJ is crazy. I think everything's aligned up for him to finally have his big breakout season. Now, last year, of course, he gets the big contract, and he finally started to put it all together with no real weapons around him outside of Saquon Barkley. Now you look at this year 2 in this system. What is Daniel Jones? I mean, to me, this has to be his breakout year. And if the Giants want to do something special and move along, he's going to have to take a leap in the next step. When I think what you saw from him last year makes you feel a little bit good about it. Makes you feel good. He cut down on the turnovers. He's a running machine when he needs to be. Very athletic. I think Daniel Jones is set to have a breakout season. I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see it. But I think if you probably have this pulled up now, look at the guys that are ahead of him. It's not guys that it's not like I'm going like, okay, obviously Joe Burrow, Aaron Rodgers, but then there's some guys on that list, Alex, that you would say probably aren't, but definitely aren't better than Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I mean, I can't find the full list, but he's plus 5,000 to win the MVP, Daniel Jones, which is crazy. So I can't find the exact odds of all of them on DraftKings. I'm trying to, and it just I think they took it down for some reason. It's probably like too close to the season or something like that. I don't know. Sometimes online they take the app the odds down. But I just Googled it for DraftKings and what it was, and it was plus 5,000 for Daniel Jones. And obviously you got the Mahomes, you got the guys like that ahead of him, but it's going to be fun, and Daniel Jones is going to be good. And the Giants, drafted some players, and that guy who ran by Sauce Gardner that Sean Rash threw a parade for that wasn't even a completed pass, and like they got some guys. I mean, Barkley's back, and, they got Waller now, and the Giants are going to be good, man. Just, was last year this might be like that was last year like an aberration, or was it aberration, or however you say that, or was it, that's who they are? And it's like, sometimes when you have a new coach, you get a little shot in the arm and you make the playoffs because it's like a new voice. And then the second year to kind of take a step back. And then the third year is kind of like who you are. Jets did that a lot over the 2000s with Herm Edwards and Mangini and this and that.
First year always good, and then boom.
Yeah, and then reality hits in, like, oh, fuck this guy. But we'll see what happens, with that. So I learned a long time ago not to doubt the Giants, especially, that first Super Bowl. And, I was like, oh, they're done. And then they went on this crazy run. And it is what it is, man. I mean, the Giants are going to be good. The Jets are going to be good. We're going to have a fun year in football, and hopefully have a fun year in basketball too. And then when the Knicks and the Nets come back eventually, we'll see.
And we can wrap up the show. And there's one story that I wanted to say from last week, but I forgot. And then so I promised I would say it this week. Do you know where I'm going?
No idea.
Yeah, you'll remember fast. So I had sent you a text message by accident.
Oh,
there's a photo, and I'll just tell you. It says, I think if you've made it this far into the episode, this is your treat. So I've been proud. I've been working out over the last week and a half. I've been a mess as the summer's winding down, but I've been working out hard, and I lost some weight and been working on my chest, and I'm feeling good, right? So I took like a nice selfie where shorts on, but shirt is off. So t-shirt off, topside nude, take a photo of it. And I wanted to send it to my wife to be like, hey, look how good I look. You're definitely in my thread of people I text a bunch, and I texted you the photo, and it's me shirtless. And I was like, I sent it and I went, then I looked down and I realized I didn't send it to Jess, my wife. I sent it to Alex. I was like, oh God, no. So I immediately called you. I was like, delete that fucking photo right now. And
Yeah.
I was like, don't even look. I was like, this was not for you. I promise. It's like, and nothing else is coming. I'm not a person that takes photos of themselves really, or like,
You're not a selfie guy. I don't find you as a big selfie guy.
No, I'm
but,
really not. So, and I sent it to you. I was embarrassed.
And it was like 11:30 at night too, so it was kind of funny because it wasn't like the middle of the day. And then I was just like looking at before I can like put my thoughts together. You were already texting me and calling me like, "Oh shit, sorry."
Yeah,
you called me, and then
but yeah.
And I think a couple of days later, I sent you a picture of my chest just to make it even, so
Did you?
Could be like, no, I'm just kidding. I don't know if I did. I think I did,
Maybe
but it was just,
I don't know.
it was funny. It was just like really funny to see. And I was just laughing. And I didn't show Hannah the picture of my wife, but I told her the story. She was hysterical laughing.
That's good. Yeah.
She's like, so, that's, we're very close here on Bad Weather Fans. We share chest hair photos with each other.
Yeah. And if you want to sign up for our Patreon page, you'll get those photos. It's $5 a month. The Bad Weather Fans only fans, where we just take shots of you. We take photos of each other naked. Here's our OnlyFans page.
You knew I was getting. Yeah, I knew.
Sign up for that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Cooney's.
Stop.
Always.
No,
but you know what? What's funny is like you're getting old when you start noticing like a gray hair or so on your chest hair. You know what I mean? You're like oh, what
other
the
places
fuck is that?
Yeah, in other places.
Well, I haven't gotten down there yet.
I have. Not a lot. No, I'm not there. They're there. They're there. Well, yeah, I've seen them. They're my eyebrows, man. Ugh.
Yeah, no, the eyebrows I haven't got. I get it like in the corners of my hair and stuff, but corners of my hair above my ears, kind of area. But I don't know. It's fun, man. It's fun. It's just because you know how it is like now with on the iPhones. It's like when you take a picture and you want to send a picture, you have like recent people that you sent the text to. And at least you didn't text it to like Richard Jefferson or Tracy McGrady or somebody like that we found on the show.
I think it's funny you say that because I think that was the same night we recorded with Ian Eagle. Oh. So although he probably would have just been like, thanks for sharing. He would have had some, I mean, I don't know what he would have said, but it would have been funny.
I kind of want you to do that just so we could see what his reaction would be, just to see what Ian Eagle would say.
No. You're not getting that. You're not getting
like, well, he'd like do.
That should be
Thank you for that, Mike. Yes.
The new pitch
an Ian Eagle voice.
New pitch to get guests. Just like, hey, this is Bad Weather Fans. And then just send those pictures. See how it works.
Yeah. Yeah. And also quick on the Knicks. It's so hard to get so excited about the Knicks season coming up. It's coming. But at the same time, it's like it's the same shit. Fournier is still on the roster, and I'm just praying Brunson stays healthy in FIBA. And it's just like whatever, dude. And Nets is kind of the same thing. I feel like it's just like all right, like there's no like let's go.
Yeah,
season's coming. It's just like all right, another year. Let's go. Come on. I'm sure we'll get into it more when the season gets closer. But right now, I'm just kind of like
No, we will. We'll get into it. And, when Ben Simmons pulls up and starts draining threes, we'll be like, whoa, here come the Nets. No, I mean.
Oh, man. I remember when Obi Toppin is dunking it over everybody in Indiana, averaging 25 points a game. That'd be great, man. Good times.
In my rankings of things I want to see this season, Nets winning, Knicks losing, Obi Toppin becoming the best player in the league. Not just an all-star. Like, he all of a sudden is an MVP. Obi... Not only I want him to be like prime. He's the different body types and different kind of player, but prime Shaq is what I want.
Prime Shaq. I was gonna go with more Sean Marion. I feel like it's more of a
prime Shaq. I want Obi Toppin to become prime Shaq. Mm-hmm.
You're not even going for the Hall of Famer or something like that. You're like no prime Shaq, like best player of all time, one of the best players of all time.
Prime, like Shaq in his prime. Is what I want, like those early Laker years. Got it. Like those Laker Kobe dynasty Shaq. The one I saw in 2002, where it was like if you were playing basketball with a bunch of 8-year-olds and you're just dunking all over them on an 8-foot hoop. That's what I want. I want that.
Tell you what, I'm gonna
Moby.
That's what you want. But what I tell you what's going to happen, he's going to win most improved player just by default, just because he hasn't played and now he's going to be starting and he's going to at least average 16, 17 points a game. I mean, let's just be real. And it's just, he's going to be most improved player. So if you can find odds for that on DraftKings, whenever they post them, I just looked, they don't have them yet. Who's going to win the most improved player? That's a good bet.
I
wouldn't bet like $1,000 on it, but
I will
throw 100 on it.
I will. I'm gonna do it. Everything on that bet. Oh, jeez,
He probably has the best odds to win it. I mean, honestly, who else would if did they even do that? I mean, who else would even?
I mean, it's such an interesting award to
Ben
think
Simmons
of.
is the other one.
It's just such an interesting award to think of because you're betting on who you think is going to improve,
right?
And then it's like, it's just it's a hard thing to gauge before a season. I guess you got to look like I'd have to really putting me on the spot. I have no idea. I'd have to really think about it. Like who takes an elite level leap? Like if Anthony Edwards, who's still very good all-star player, but then becomes an MVP kind of guy, could you do is that something?
Right.
You're ranging in all different ways. It's not like who's the MVP is MVP, but most improved player, you could go from someone that didn't play, that's now playing a little bit that gets it, to somebody that was an all-star to an elite MVP level. So it's different categories within the most improved player, how you have to look at it. But Obi's
in hindsight, you could have probably guessed last year's Lauri Markkanen. I had to look it up. I didn't realize who won it last year, but you could have guessed it because he was getting all the playing time like Obi Toppin is this year, and he didn't before, and he was the Donovan Mitchell trade. I don't know if you heard of that. That was, we could bring it all back together with the Knicks.
Oh,
you know what I mean? That's how that he got there to the Jazz. So
anyway. Honestly, another one is I say it out loud, and I'm sure Net fans are listening to the same. Biseglia, say the answer. Mikal Bridges.
Yeah.
I mean, because he had such an unique season where he's in Phoenix. The guys are hurt, so he's getting some run. And then he goes, but then he goes to the Nets and he has to shoulder all of the offense. So his splits are weird because he averaged 20 a game for the season, or 22, 21 a game for the season. But in the Nets, it was 26. But it's a smaller sample size. So if you let Mikal Bridges is going to score 26 a game for 82 games, and he does play, there's a good chance he could get it, even though he was trending that way. I could definitely see Mikal Bridges as an option. That was a one right in front of my face. So I apologize, Net fans. That's definitely an option with Mikal Bridges, especially if he's going to be the guy in Brooklyn. As unfortunately he is, because there's not much guys around him. Or another Cam Johnson. Honestly, another one for the Nets. I mean, I think I like the contract he got. I know people are like, it's a little of an overpay. I'm like, yeah, but you got him where he's starting and he's going to come up for his prime. You're not paying him. You're not paying him for what he did for the franchise. You're banking on him getting better. So that's another viable option for them too.
Until the Nets trade for Harden again, that's what's going to happen, and then they're going to get him back, and they're going to see what happens, and you get the real Harden again for the 5th time. I'm kidding.
The problem, Alex, and this is like you could make a case for a lot of most improved players on the Nets,
right?
Because you need improvement for them to be better, right? So you're banking on younger guys.
Yeah.
Nick Claxton, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, those three. You need, if the Nets are going to be, and I guess technically Ben Simmons, if the Nets are going to be very good, they all have to, jump up in that most improved player kind of vibes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And if you're playing fantasy basketball, definitely draft Mikal Bridges or Obi Toppin or Cam Johnson. Those are some guys that can win you a league. That's for sure. And the only thing with the Knicks that I'm really scared of really quick is just the Randall and Tibbs relationship, because that can torpedo the franchise, and Jalen Brunson is Jalen Brunson's team, and is, Leon Rose is close with both, and who's going to choose sides and whatever. That's I don't want to be negative, but that's something that's really, really scaring me, because it's obviously Jalen Brunson's team, but can Randall step aside? Like Ian Eagle said, you can't win a championship with him on our podcast. You can't win a championship with him as a 101 or 1B, so it's just, but he's kind of got the alpha dog mentality, which is great, but you're not an alpha dog, bro. So it is what it is.
It's the summer, Alex. Relax with your Knicks. No one cares about the Knicks.
Right. Nobody cares. It's Labor Day weekend.
It's Super Bowl.
Going into the football season.
Super Bowl picks. Super Bowl picks, Alex. We'll wrap it up with that. Who you like? Who's going to your Super Bowl? Do it.
I'm not picking the Jets because I can't because I've never seen it. So, and I've been excited before, and I just can't do it. So I'm going. I know my NFC team. I have to think about my AFC team. You want to go first, and then I'll
Jets,
go.
Eagles.
Really? That's who you got?
Which would be a Giant fan nightmare, I guess.
Jets, Eagles. But you got to root for the Jets in that Super Bowl.
You would have to. Yeah, you'd have to. You'd have to.
Yeah.
But what happens? You see what happens is this is always what happens. It's when the fans the fans that are closest to you are the ones that are going to be the most annoying to you. Like, for example, when I've lived in Virginia for 6-7 years, it was Washington that was annoying. All their fans were annoying. Now you come back here and it's more Cowboy Eagle, but there's not as many Washington fans. But you go there,
right?
And it was like, I lived in Virginia. It was they were everywhere, and then you're like, oh, these fans are the worst. The fans are the worst are the ones you're around, with the exception Knicks fans everywhere suck.
There's Knicks fans in Brazil too. Did you know that? There's the Knicks fans in Germany. There's a couple social media accounts of those guys, but and they're great. Don't get me wrong. My Super Bowl pick, I'm going. The team that I knew in the NFC was the 49ers. And I'm going to go with the Bengals, 49ers Bengals. I know Burrow's a little banged up, but I think they're going to make another run. I think it's their time to get through. And I think the 49ers win it, though, because I think Brock Purdy is legit. Yeah. So I see that coming. Yeah, exactly. Old Boomer Esiason, Joe Montana, John Taylor.
Yeah, I'm going Jets, Eagles. All right, we'll see what happens. We'll probably both be wrong. Hopefully we're both wrong.
Probably.
I mean, I hope. I mean, you take it.
It'll probably be like Ravens, Lions, or something like that.
Lions a trendy pick. Lions trendy pick.
Yeah, but are they the trendy pick that's going to be like good, or is they the trendy pick that people just think, poor little Lions, they can make the playoffs?
No, I mean they were. Remember last year when they started 1-6.
I guess people love them, but
they were 1-6, 1-7, whatever they were, and then they had the resurgence. They just missed the playoffs. They ruined the Packers season at the end. I mean, the Lions, they got the coach in Campbell. I mean, the Lions are I don't know. Well, to answer your question, I don't know. It'll take time.
Jared Goff's been to a Super Bowl and he's their quarterback. So you never know. It's not like he can't get there, but that was also years ago. And, we'll see what happens. So it was.
All right. This has been Bad Weather Fans, episode 185, presented by DraftKings. Don't forget, go back in the archives. We've got some great interviews, as Alex alluded to, with Ian Eagle. If you want to get his thoughts on the Jets Giant season coming up, as everybody gears up for week 1 in the NFL. We appreciate, everybody listening, of course. Apple Podcasts, leave comments, leave 5 stars. If you want to check out the video version of this, just head on over to YouTube, type in Bad Weather Fans, and you can watch us in our trendy, cool backgrounds. Alex has the Jets at Giant Stadium, and I'm at my house, so you can check that out with our beautiful view from where I live. Alex, episode 185 in the books. Enjoy your week. Good luck to your Jets, and we'll talk to you later, man.
Thank you. Enjoy the football games, everybody.
You're welcome.